don't know what happened, but I'm Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. This is Tuned in Tarot. We're looking at divine masculine, divine feminine energy, and we just cut off as I was doing the divine feminine side. I don't know. I guess my connection got wonky or whatever, but I'm back. So I guess this will be in two parts today. So I think that it cut out around this Nine of Cups that I was talking about, which was about divine feminine going in and discovering how exactly she is engaging in this withholding behavior where she's not expressing. And I was mentioning that personally, I am doing this by not sharing my music, that I've had music that I've written for 20 years and I haven't released more than one song. And so, as I start to do this work for myself, where I'm expressing and I'm not hoarding the gifts I have, I'm not hoarding my abundance or protecting it or, like being selfish with it, I will see that energy reflected from my divine masculine. So, that was where we got cut off in the last video. Okay, here we go. I don't know what happened. It just like kicked out and then I couldn't get it to come back. But I didn't notice at first. So I read for a little bit longer. But yeah, Six of Cups. The next thing on her mind is the Six of Cups upright. So the thing that she's choosing looks like the reunion energy that she's making a decision about. She has a lot of options. She does. She's magnetic. She's looking real good right now. She's in her power. She's absolutely able to have any person, any job, anything, any manifestation that she wants. But she's decided that she really just wants to have this reunion, that that's what she wants. She doesn't want anything else. And she's like living in the blissful memories of it. She's in the nostalgia of it, the things that they've shared, the future memories. She's choosing this. I don't know how I feel about it. It's a reflection of my energy. I'm a little worried, but what are you going to do? This is her headspace. She's like, I'm not going to be afraid that I can't have what I wish for and what I want. And what I want is this reunion. And so that is what I'm choosing. So she's staying kind of immersed in this past. And she's enduring in choosing that the shadow traits of the King of Swords. So iciness, aloofness, strategizing, planning, generally silent, not communicating. However, this king is an excellent communicator, so is the King of Wands. So Divine Feminine has this awareness that if she remains stuck in the past, reflecting upon the shadow traits of this king, she's going to keep seeing this experience repeated over and over again. So she doesn't want to remain in the shadows, or she doesn't want to remain reflecting upon the shadow traits of the of Swords. She wants to have, but not be stuck in the past. And this is what she's working to release her fears about. Her fears regarding this. She is choosing to believe that divine masculine is going to be the masculine that she wishes for, not the version that he's been in the past. She's choosing to believe that he's going to be in his light traits, not in his shadow, that he is going to express to her. We have the Five of Swords in reverse and the Chariot for the overthinking. So the Chariot didn't leave. It's here. She feels this forward motion, pulling her forward. She's ready to go. She wants divine masculine to get on that train instead of getting run over. That's very important to her. Please get on. Don't get run over. But I'm going. I'm going. My wish fulfillment is to have a companion, a physical companion. I would love for that to be a reunion energy with this King of Swords, right? That's what I would really love to be heading towards. I'm not going to accept this defeat. If this was upright, it would show me accepting defeat, walking away from this battle. But I'm not willing to do it. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I refuse to accept defeat. I know I can have what I want, and I know that it will fulfill me. Let's look at her heart space. I told you before in the first part of the reading, so annoyed that it's 2 parts now. Like, come on. Why? The Tower. She's uncomfortable. She's very, very uncomfortable. But look at this tower. All the other towers and all the other cards, they usually are toppling over. But this one is being struck by lightning and it's not falling down. It's stable and it's strong and difficult to release. The benefit of a tower that's dismantled by the divine is that the pieces that didn't serve you have already fallen to the ground. The thing that makes this tower difficult is that you must remodel it. The divine is making you uncomfortable, and then you must go in and find the pieces that are not working and demolish them on your own. So it's a little bit harder and no less uncomfortable. And Divine Feminine is feeling the full effects of this, where she's experiencing tower moments left and right with this Divine Masculine. It's not tearing down her love for him. Her love is unconditional, but she can see that this discomfort is showing her the weaknesses, showing her the imperfections, the flaws, the things that make her susceptible to being struck by lightning. Bitch has got to get a lightning rod up on this tower, right? She's got to protect herself from the feelings she gets, from the disappointments, from these things that keep happening. Her tower is stable, but for how long? How long can it endure this? Maybe forever, who knows? But it's really uncomfortable. And who's making her uncomfortable? The niggling feeling, the King of Pentacles in his shadow. The word on this card from the Field Tarot is power. So what is making her feel uncomfortable and what she is having to dig out and renovate inside of that tower is her fears regarding being controlled. Divine Masculine doesn't want her to feel controlled. But Divine Masculine controls himself. He controls his own desires. He holds back his own Ace of Wands. He holds back his own Page of Wands. He withholds all of his sideways resistance. He doesn't want Divine Feminine to feel controlled, but he controls himself. So the end result is a Divine Feminine who is enduring this controlling behavior. This is what we have. This tower, that's Divine Feminine's unconditional love. This lightning, that's Divine Masculine trying to control the situation and making her very uncomfortable, making her feel triggered about past controlling energy that has not had her best interest at heart. She's trying to believe that Divine Masculine has her best interests at heart, unlike the other individuals in her life. But one of those individuals I know personally for me was my mother. My mother felt she had my best interest at heart. You know, when she says wounding things to me to this day, she thinks she's protecting me from getting hurt by someone else who doesn't love me as much as her and can say those mean things to me, right? So Divine Feminine, while she wants this specific iteration, while she wants this King of Pentacles, she absolutely is afraid of him. She's afraid of the discomfort. She's afraid of the feeling of being controlled by somebody who has her best interests at heart, but hasn't even asked her what her interests are. It's very uncomfortable. So she's enduring that right now. First thing in her heart space, Page of Cups. Her dreams, clarifying the Seven of Cups in reverse. So she's choosing true love. She's choosing to be heart-centered, to be heartfelt. She feels like just kind of choosing to be innocent. And from a personal experience and as a spiritual counselor who specifically counsels people in their relationships, that's not what I ever chose. Like, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, what will you be doing when you're 40? And I would never have said, oh, I'm going to be like a spiritual relationship guru, because I am not that thing in my own mind. But that is now what I do. I counsel people who are tend to be, and this is just people who reach out to me. It's not like I'm seeking these individuals. They have sought me out from my readings, but they'll ask me to help them, usually in regards to a relationship. It's either ending or not started, whatever. And so then I do this that I do for you every day for them personally. And it's more focused, although it is eerily similar because this collective is very in sync. And so, because what I'm dealing with every day is people in various states of their unions and their separations and their third party energies. And I'm also watching other readings to stay up to date with the energy that's flowing, different astrological events, um, new cards I've not seen before, new imagery, whatever, all day for the most part. In between making music, I'm doing this spiritual relationship counseling stuff. And so I have personally hit a point where I can be kind of cynical or jaded a little bit about how the divine masculine energy is going to behave or what's going on with that energy. Or, and of course you're always comparative because we compare things as in our society. So we're like looking at relationships and being like, wait, is this what my divine masculine is doing? Like, is my divine masculine doing that? I mean, this collective energy is very similar and people are experiencing similar things. And like there's third party stuff going on. Like, but divine feminine wants to remain innocent. She's choosing to remain innocent. She's seeing all this other stuff going on around her. She's hearing all these other stories. And she keeps hearing this message that her divine masculine has given to her, which is like, don't look to other people for the answers that you can only get from me or from you in your heart. Just believe in what we have, in this dream that we have, and don't pay attention to what other people are going through. You and I are different. This is the message she gets from divine masculine. You and I, there's a place for us, and we're different, and we're not like the others. And she's choosing to kind of just be like, okay, I'm going to believe him. And I'm not going to fear that I won't have my Four of Wands. I'm not going to fear that I'm not afraid. I know that I'm going to have this sacred union because of my dreams, because I've asked for it, because it will be given. And the only thing that has kept me from this in the past, I've released, which is this Five of Pentacles energy. I no longer feel this lack, this destitution. It's the word on this card from the field tarot. I don't feel this lack energy in regards to abundance, in regards to my divine masculine. That's all gone for me. I feel the potential of my wish fulfillment. But I am afraid. This Page of Swords, I'm working up the courage to reunite with this divine masculine energy because I am afraid of his controlling behavior. The King of Swords in reverse and the Emperor in reverse. This is a lot of shadow that has to do with control. For the Emperor, it's rigid and dictatorial control. For the King of Swords, it's strategic, cold, calculated energy that is ultimately for both meant to be protective but ultimately for both, very difficult to endure. So divine feminine is really hoping divine masculine can release this shadow because she is really, really afraid of it. This is the thing she fears more than anything else. And if divine masculine knows this and can and really empathize, because he's been under control, he has his own controlling authority. This is the truth he's going to tell divine feminine about. I've been controlled. I've been under this rigidity. I've been held back. So if he understands his own fears, then he can understand how he is representing this to divine feminine. What she wants is this. This is sacred union, two mirrored, equal parts of self coming together, right? 11-11, twin flame, one whole soul, two individual parts, not one authority and one submissive part of self at all. Instead, inside of oneself, authority and submission. So this is a really powerful fear that she has. And then we have dedication, clarified by the 10 of Cups, finally upright. We were seeing this in reverse. She's really afraid of the spiritual fulfillment yesterday. So the 8 of Discs or 8 of Pentacles and spiritual fulfillment and not accepting defeat, forward motion. Okay, so let's look at all of these cards. We start off with the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. Something that she wants, right? We end with the 10 of Cups. So we see the fulfillment, the wish fulfilled. In between these 2 points, we have a release of the lack mentality. So anything that kept her from fearing that she was going to receive abundance or that she was going to receive love or that whatever this constituted for her, that she was afraid, that she was withholding. For me, this is my record, right? So releasing this lack mentality, not accepting defeat, and moving towards this fast or surrendering the reins to that fast moving energy towards what it is that she desires. This 8 of Pentacles in reverse, this is her work. This is her craft. This is what she's making. This is what she's bringing into the world. And this will bring her the spiritual fulfillment to actually achieve an expression of a manifestation that she's seeking. And this is where her headspace feels this momentum that she's rushing towards this. Her heart is a little bit afraid right now that she's resisting doing the work she needs to do to fully achieve her spiritual fulfillment. This is her warning from her heart space. Divine Masculine's warning from his heart space. He's got all that resistance about his destiny and this not completing. He needs to complete the cycle. He needs to fully release these attachments to external validation. He needs to come unstuck, unpin himself, right? Divine Feminine, you've got to focus on this passion that you have and trust that spiritual fulfillment is going to equal physical manifestation fulfillment. It's also about having done the work that is allowing you to receive spiritual fulfillment as well. It's having done it and an ongoing process of still doing it and not losing that momentum. You sometimes fear that your passions will not bring you to fulfillment, but your heart is telling you, yes, it will. All right, let's look at the oracles for Divine Masculine. You are in the light attributes of the pioneer, which is a passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And you are no longer feeling a compulsive need to keep moving on. You are ready to be committed, and you are you have this King of Wands, this passion to do what hasn't been. I mean, the King of Wands is a pioneer. He has a vision for something new, that Ace of Swords, and he's passionately going to create what he hasn't done before. In the past, he's not been honest with himself with divine feminine. He's been too attached to these to this external validation, too worried about his foundation, etc. Then we're seeing him in the shadow attributes of the gossip. So the shadow attributes are thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidences. And the light attributes are awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So divine masculine, I feel like there has been some social interactions that you've been having that in a way is betraying some of the confidence that your divine feminine has in you. It's not that you actually might be telling some of your secrets to somebody who's not trustworthy. It's possible that there's somebody in the mix that you think is a safe person to tell what's going on, and they're not. They have another motive. They are maybe trying to influence you in some way. There's that potentially there. But it's also when divine feminine is seeing you engage in this social behavior, her confidence in you is betrayed. So you need to come into the light. You need to lock that situation down. Whatever leak you have in your circle that is revealing something about you that could potentially be used to take advantage of you, you need to lock that down. There's someone in there that doesn't have your interests at heart. You also need to awaken your consideration for the feeling of others. Something about this interaction, something about what divine feminine saw or heard or came through to her through the grapevine or through social media or something about it really caused a problem because you didn't consider how it would make her feel. And you need to show her that you understand how it feels for her to be in the position she's in, and honor the trust that you have with her. You're getting retreat energy, which is to go on a vacation immediately. And I do not think this is about divine feminine. My feeling is that there is a person or a group of friends that you need to retreat from. There's something to do with this gossip, social media, portraying you incorrectly, or there's somebody that you need to retreat from. You also need to understand that part of the reason why divine feminine is in a retreat from you has to do with that energy of the shadow of the gossip. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So trust that. Everything that's happening is conspiring to bring you where you need to go. Hope is the conduit for miracles. So continue to choose hope. I choose love no matter what. No matter what, choose love. Hold your vision, divine masculine, as a pioneer and as the King of Wands. That's vital for you. Show the world the real you, emphasized with this unmasking. Show the world the real you. The other thing I didn't mention about this Temperance card, which I should have said right away, impatience. Impatience with yourself for not showing the world the real you. There's that. Be bold and make the first move. The ball is definitely in your court, sir. Hey, Starseed, What lights you up? Could you please show the world the real you? Because this is the star energy. It's also the temperance energy, the balancing back and forth, those two cups pouring back and forth. But what lights you up, divine masculine? Divine feminine. We do know the divine feminine lights you up. So please, please, please head towards divine feminine at lightning speed. You are getting seahorse spirit. This is a card that is similar to the hanged man energy. It says watch and wait. It's about being neutral and gaining perspective. There's chaos going on right around you right now. Something to do with that gossip energy. I don't know what it is, but there's some chaos going on around. And it's like you need to have the perspective of like, this is not my issue. Don't be tempted to jump in, try to fix things. Just remain calm, watch, and see. Now, this might also be in regards to divine feminine because you've stirred up the pot with divine feminine in some way. We saw the last couple of days she's not been feeling that great about it, even though she's choosing right now you lucky dog. There's chaos right now. Don't try to fix it. And the other message is to be willing to step back and to look at this from a different angle, to look at the entire situation from a different angle, that you've been looking at it the same single perspective for a long time, and it needs fresh eyes. All right, divine feminine, let's look at your oracles. You're in the light attributes of the trickster, which is transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. So you're not doing what you're always doing. You're doing some different things. Divine masculine is a little bit like, we. How do you like that? You get a taste of your own medicine. It is not intentional. Divine feminine she's not like trying to be a trickster. But what's happening is she's transcending her old behaviors, her conventional behaviors, the things that are conventional for her. And she's doing things that are a new energy for her. It's unexpected for her. It's unexpected for divine masculine. And she's just kind of flowing with it in a positive way. She's not manipulating others through duplicity. She's not trying to control divine masculine through her behaviors. She's honestly just flowing. She's just doing things that feel right to her. And it's not necessarily predictable. And it's serving her well. You're also in the light attributes of the Avenger, which is balancing the scales of justice and the righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So what you have achieved in the last few days of your discomfort in this tower moment is a certain amount of righteousness on behalf of yourself. And it is not in the shadow traits of self-righteousness. It is one that comes from true soul searching, actually, a true understanding of what it is that you need and what you aren't getting, and why that's not just, and how you must balance those scales of justice by giving yourself what you need and not expecting this divine masculine to give it to you. However, if this divine masculine cannot give it to you, then you cannot expect to wait for this divine masculine to do it. You must give it to yourself. And if someone else is showing up and is able to meet your needs, then you are honoring that specific that iteration and not worrying so much about the specific iteration that you have in mind. You seek a reunion of masculine and feminine inside of self. You hope that it is this iteration that you would like for it to be. You have a wish about it. But your desire to balance the scales and to have a fair and even balanced relationship and the righteousness you feel about what it is that you deserve, this is allowing you to attract something that will be truly spiritually fulfilling. That's not going to leave you feeling lack. St. Francis of Assisi is here with this animal's energy. This is unconditional love and loyalty. Divine feminine, you're incredibly loyal. You're frankly being loyal to somebody who knows that really, you don't have a basis for that loyalty on how the behavior has been in this dynamic. Okay? This is not a fair dynamic, but you've been incredibly loyal. This is also about if you have companion animals, it's a time to seek that solace that you get from being with their energy. It helps to calm you and center you. It helps you to be in a place of unconditional love, in a vibration of unconditional love. This is my husky. I want so bad. I don't know why. I can't get that. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. Did I not go on at length about this for you, Divine Feminine? Oh my God. Yes, you do. You find growth and expansion amid this discomfort. You're doing such a great job. You see these obstacles as detours in the right direction. When you see some social media business going on with Divine Masculine, it makes you feel some type of way. You're like, well, you know what? This is going to push me where I need to go. And where I need to go is not in the place where I feel like shit about that. Where I need to go is in the place where I feel good about myself and my social interactions and what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. So instead of getting all caught up in that, you are letting it push you with that chariot energy where you want to go very fast. It's not taking as long as it used to. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So you're consistently just tuning back in to love. And every time you do that, it gives you the words, it gives you the actions, it gives you the solace, it gives you the comfort that you need. This is the Void of Course Moon. This is a strange card. It's about the time when the moon is in its cycle, where it is not more of this or more of that. It is just neutral. And it is nothing will come of this situation. So whatever this worry, fear you have about this third party energy, Divine Masculine has going on, or the fear that you're not going to be able to be with this Divine Masculine in the amount of time that you think, whatever it is, nothing will come of that situation. So you can release that fear. You are also in a time right now where one thing is not more likely to happen than another. This can be an auspicious energy because it means if you go for it, there's no influence that's pushing it away from you. There's not an also acceleration of energy that's pushing you towards it. It means you're on your own. It's kind of like rebuilding the tower when you have to go in and renovate it yourself. Don't let pride get in your way. Leo. I'm like, I need respect. Respect me. My moon is in Leo. Relationships for people with moon in Leo, the number one thing for them is respect. If you disrespect them, we fucking cut you out. And it takes a lot for a Leo to like not forgive you for something. Like, I'm very forgiving. I've forgiven people for doing the worst things to me. But if you really disrespect me, that's a really difficult one for me. Balance spirituality with practicality. So don't just be in the dream space. Don't just be in fantasy. Don't just be in the place where you're asking the cards what's going to happen and then not doing a fucking thing that the cards tell you to do. That's classic. You're like, I'm just going to read cards this morning so that like I can get a general feel of the day and like basically try to confirm that what I want is going to happen. And then if it doesn't confirm that, feel shitty because I think something bad is going to happen all day. If that's why you're reading the cards or if that's why you're coming to my reading, go away. Because you should come to this reading to find out what you should do today to balance your energy. And if you hear me say some shit about the other individual that you're here to see. Like if I'm like divine feminine, you need to do this, this, and that. Divine masculine, you need to do this, this, and that. And you're all like, he needs to do that. She needs to do that. They both need to do that. They need to fix all these things that are wrong with them. This is what you have to figure out and fix for yourself. So it's not an energy of just like showing up and tuning into the energy and finding out if it's going to go your way or if it's not going to go your way. It's about figuring out how to take the spiritual information and make it go your way. So please be balancing spirituality and practicality. Because if you're just here listening to the readings and you're like, I don't understand, like I've been listening to Tune and Tarot for like 6 months and like basically it's just been this, like it's the same thing, like the same thing. This divine masculine is like this and it's like this and it's like never changing, and I think it's not real because like it's just making me feel hopeful in this. If you've been tuning into me for 6 months and I'm saying the same thing and you're hearing the same messages, first of all, I haven't been saying the same thing, but you're hearing the same thing. So there's that. Number one. Number two, there are a lot of times when the messages repeat over and over again, and they always will until the end of time, because you're always going to be working on this energy, and you're just basically figuring out when you check in how you should work with the energy. That's all, right? So I'm giving you instructions for how to stop experiencing the same messages every day. And it's up to you to then make this information practical. And I'm speaking to myself, who is watching this reading right now. Okay. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Well, there's a lot of grasping people, divine feminine. But I actually think this is also about your boundaries with your divine masculine. Because of the deep, deep soul connection you have with divine masculine, you feel a certain amount of ownership, just like he feels of you. You don't like that ownership. You feel that as control. Hey, he doesn't like it either. He feels that as control too. So you have to have better boundaries with divine masculine yourself, which means if it bothers you to see him doing things on social media, don't look at it. Because he has his own boundaries that you have to respect, which is he can do whatever he wants. Just like you can do whatever you want, right? So you have to release the idea that, first of all, you ever have control over anyone, that you ever have the right to violate anyone's boundaries, because you do not. And if you do violate a boundary and it's somebody that's close to you, hopefully you can have a loving forgiveness conversation about having done something that was not okay. But it's never okay to tell somebody what they can or can't do or what they should or shouldn't do. It might make you feel uncomfortable, but it's your job to manage your discomfort. It really is. So, boundaries. It's also good to know, I just want to point this out because I think this is important. It's also good to know that when you mesh your physical bodies together and you open up that world of like biological boundaries, where if this person is meshing their physical body with someone else's body and then your body and then another body, you absolutely have the right to know who that person is meshing with, when that is happening in regards to your contact with them. And this goes for not even just sexually transmitted diseases, but for COVID, right? Like, so if you feel like, because I'm having conversations with people right now because of the age of stable ambiguity, which I just fucking hate so much, because of this period we're in, we don't feel like it's our right to ask the people that we're in physical relationships with about other physical relationships if we're not exclusive. I'm calling bullshit on that. If someone is sticking something into your body that belongs to their body or whatever, and they're also sticking in other people's bodies, you have the right to ask and know. You can. It doesn't mean they can't do that with other people when you have that conversation. That's about, you have to establish that for yourself. If you want to be in that stable ambiguity with somebody, that's up to you. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's also okay for you to be like, but who are you sleeping with and when, in regards to when we're engaging or doing this? Are you waiting 2 weeks before you see these people for COVID reasons? Are you always safe? Is this somebody that you see once, a lot? You have the right. That's not violating boundaries. It's actually violating your boundaries if you don't have that kind of information when you want to be physical with that person, because you're putting your life in danger and their lives in danger and other people's lives. So never feel bad about asking for that information. You're absolutely entitled to it. And if anyone is uncomfortable giving you that information, do not let them into your body. Owl spirit with the beautiful eyelashes. Have you ever seen those videos of the owls too, where they're kind of free? Like, I love owls, and then I see real life videos of them, and I'm like, they're scary. Like, they're huge eyes with the big eyelashes. Like, I'm like, so strange looking. All right. So adorable in this picture, though. Okay. The oracle message, rather, from Colette Baron-Reid's Spirit Animal Oracle deck is: Owl Spirit arrives to remind you that the wisdom within you is informed by your keen senses and the wisdom within the consciousness we all share. Even in the darkest night, the owl sees clearly and is guided by every sense it has, including the first sense of intuition. Right now, your sensitivities are turbocharged and you are receiving messages from all directions. I can attest to that. Owl Spirit reminds you to be wise and pay attention to what's between the lines, what is invisible to the naked eye, what cannot be heard with the ears, and what others may not be able to perceive. Strong message for me. With all your senses aroused, you have much knowledge available to you. Clarity will come as you sit with all that you are sensing, allowing your intuition to guide you in understanding the whole and not just the parts. Let your wisdom arise and be your guide as you trust the acuity of all your senses. Intuition is real and can provide the clarity you need to understand your situation right now. Your relationship, your finances, your job, whatever it is, you can see the truth clearly now. This is poignant to me because of what I was talking about before. As a spiritual counselor for people with different relationships issues, when I do talk to them about their situations, I will reference mine on occasion. And some people know intimately about what's going on with my relationship. And a lot of people have a lot of opinions. And I got to tell you, they're not very popular. Divine Masculine, not very popular with my friends. So I have to trust my intuition, because when I hear myself defending, I hear them, like, I can hear, first of all, my fear, but it's reflected back to me in their concern that I'm just like being wishful thinking, or, that I'm doing, and I'm afraid of that too. So like I use them sort of as a springboard for what's going on, but I'm also kind of afraid sometimes of hearing what I'm afraid of hearing. So it's complicated, but I know that I must trust my intuition. I know my situation is different. It's not the same. And you have to trust your own intuition. So when I'm telling you these things in these readings, trust yourself. Right now, the divine couple, this is the bottom of the deck for the couple as a whole. So these are the things that you are in union about. And you are getting this blank slate. I leave this card in the deck to represent this, that you have the ability right now to be something completely new, something that that's not a consistent archetype that comes up for you over and over. But right now, this divine couple is at this place where they're defining what this really means to them, what it is, what they want to represent for one another. This is completely new energy, so it's a completely new archetype. Sign from above. So right now, the two of you are receiving a lot of messages from above to confirm and comfort you. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So as you both pray and meditate and you seek healing in this relationship and you seek healing in yourselves so that you can be together, honestly, if I really stop and think about the situation without ego, that my divine masculine doesn't approach me, that he doesn't speak to me. I said this yesterday, that I was experiencing a lot of gratitude when I was hearing stories from people who are in physical contact with their divine masculine, that do experience sexual energy with them and then still have these unhealed wounds and silence and whatever. And I had a moment of being extremely thankful that my divine masculine is honestly in his integrity, because he doesn't speak to me. That made me feel awful and also better, because I realized that if my ego is not involved, there is this healing that's taking place that is affecting everyone in his life, not just me. And if it took 20 years for that to happen, so what? Why would I begrudge him every second he needs to be able to be happy and fulfilled without me, so that he can be the best version of himself and not need me? If my ego isn't involved in that, that's a beautiful thing. If my ego's in it, it's like, I want to be there. Who gives a fuck? I love this person and I want him to be happy, fulfilled, successful, in love, have a family. I want him to have all of those things. That's it. So understand that through this prayer, through meditation, through the healing, through this journey, you create this ripple effect for another person in the real world, and then through all of their family and through all of your family. And it just goes on and on and on. A win-win outcome is forecast. You cannot lose in this situation. You're both going to win. Answer the call. What's your soul calling you to do? Well, divine masculine, your soul was calling you to honor your heart's desire. Divine feminine, your soul was calling you to release your fears about being controlled by the specific iteration of the divine masculine that you love. Answer that call. Release this fear. This divine masculine is not trying to control you, divine feminine. He is not. He is trying to control himself. And because of that, it feels like he's trying to control you. But he's in his integrity. And he's doing his best to try to create a balanced, healthy foundation from which to approach you and enjoy life with you. Right? Electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just like try to picture my past self. Like going to myself and being like, especially like when I lived in New York, and being like, oh, you're going to be a tarot reader and you're going to like read and channel energy about like electric eels. I can't. I'm sorry. It just seems so absurd to me, but I also just really love it. But you know how absurd it is sometimes, and I'm like, why? Okay, sorry. Bring your ideas to life. Seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started bringing your idea to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path, so do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come, for Spirit wants to shower you with the love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. I don't know why I find that any more funny than seahorse spirit, but I'm just like, electric eel, really? Okay. Oh, I can't wait to actually be hanging out with my divine masculine, who I know is probably cracking up right now for the same reason. Okay, let's close this reading with a goddess knowledge card, helping us to enhance this practice, this goddess practice that I've been encouraging you all to do, since we spend so much time focusing on masculine energy in the Godhead. Let us balance out divine feminine by putting two hands over your heart for 15 minutes at some point today, repeating the mantra, my heart is the heart of the goddess, and visualizing any divine feminine energy that resonates with you, including, but not limited to, your own self in your divine feminine glory. And then I just like to pull a card from this deck so that we can experience different goddesses from different cultures throughout time. I was in my divine feminine for sure, and my photo shoot. I had to go through 509 photos last night, and I did it 3 times with 3 different people. So that's a lot of times looking at myself. But they turned out beautifully. I got a lot of great content. I'm excited to share them with you over the coming months. Hell. This is the unending thing I was in all weekend. Are you done? They're going to go by. It's going to be even louder. Hel is the Norse queen of the underworld, a mother goddess in her underworld guise. She rules over a fiery womb of regeneration and is especially responsible for those who die of disease or old age. Her underworld, unlike the Christian hell, which received its name from her, is simply an other world, a place of renewal rather than a place of punishment and misery. When northern shamans visit her realm, they put on a hell cup, a magic mask, sometimes a helmet that renders them invisible. It is possible that the masked harlequin, a standard character in Commedia dell'arte, was originally one of the kindred of the goddess Hel. Hel is an embodiment of the divine mystery, a challenge to look behind the mask of appearances to see things as they really are. And I am not lost on the imagery that came from Divine Masculine's unmasking card today. Well, there you have it. The 2-part, hour-and-a-half long reading, thanks to the fact that it was 2-part and I wasn't paying as close attention to the time. You're welcome. Tuning in for the daily reading today. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, share, click notifications so you know when I'm going live, or follow me on Tuned Tarot on Instagram so you can see the shuffle of the music. If you didn't see the beginning of this reading, it's over on my channel. I would probably post the part 1 like as the premiere, so it'll, or not premiere, but like the thing that you go when you click to my channel, so it'll be there for you if you missed it. What else do I have to say? I think that's all. Oh, 3:33 today, I will be doing a live forecast reading for tomorrow with Eric from Positive Tarot Wisdom. We do that every Thursday on his account on Tune Tarot. So it's, or not Tune Tarot, Positive Tarot Wisdom live on Instagram. There we go. I could fucking say it. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm leaving. I've been doing this for too long and I didn't eat breakfast and I had a lot of coffee. Have a great day today.